Hi, in this video I'm going to use a Prêt-à-Template app to recreate this full look by brand Chika Kisada, show in Tokyo. Let's start with a puzzle look option where I can select different face features and garments to get something close to what I need to sketch in terms of a silhouette or lines. That's going to be helpful for me to sketch on top of it my final illustration. So I'm picking pieces based on a silhouette which I require. Some parts may be left out if I don't need them. Like this top, I'm going to use a top part of it, and then I'm going to pick a swimsuit from this section to complete it from below. And this way I can make a piece that I need. Also make sure to check the socks section. It has so many different types. You can find them as a separate section in a garments section, but in a puzzle look you can also find a lot of different types. They can be really helpful. I'm already finding something that I will use in the illustration. Now press on the small pencil icon up here to start drawing, and I'm going to use the first layer to sketch, but first I will reduce the opacity of templates. This icon here brings the toggles and each view can be separately adjusted. I'm gonna work on the middle one, so I kept it semi-transparent, and I will reduce the size of a pencil and pick something like a skin color version, but like darker than what I need, so it stands out. And I will just start sketching the face. I'm working on a separate layer now, which is under the sketch, because I want the sketch to be always visible and not getting covered with the color. So I took a lighter version for the skin and I took a flat marker, and I'll try to focus on the entire skin area and find light and shadow. Also, I will make sure I cover the arms and legs too, although there's socks and the other transparent pieces. I need to make sure the skin is showing through, so the best way to do it is to actually draw it and then layer the other pieces on top of it. I am taking a lighter color to find areas of light. On this reference photo, the light is really tricky because it comes from two different opposite sources and the center of the face is dark. Usually it's easier to draw a face with a single light source from one side, so you can choose the option which suits you better. I'm going to try and do something similar to the reference. Now I added one more layer because I feel that I can't add anything else with marker and I need to be more precise finding some details. So I took a pencil and I will start getting a more detailed drawing of the nose and focus on eyes, lips, and all these small details. I think it's done enough for now with the face, and I need to add hair to see how that's going to look together. So I will switch back to the marker layer and pick a marker to fill in the hair area. Adding details to the hair using pencil, it also gives a soft edge and definition to some parts. I found the light also on the hair and a small hair accessory. To draw a bodysuit, I'm going to add a layer and I'm going to use a new pattern from the library, which is Denim Textures. Let's take a look. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and these 5 are the new options. I would swatch them to see how they look like. And I will take a blue color that is close to the reference, and using this pattern that doesn't have any additional texture, just fill in the entire silhouette of the bodysuit. So when going over the same spot twice makes the texture darker and like more saturated and prominent, and I'm taking advantage of that as I'm drawing so that I can give a bit of the volume, a feel of volume. Just while applying the texture, I'm saturating it in the places that are in the shadow, and that already looks good. Adding one more layer under the denim texture to give a color as a backdrop underneath this texture so that it feels less transparent kind of and has more of a solid look. I will overlay some parts in the shadow and perhaps some parts in the light with a lighter color. And now using a pen of a small size and a little darker color to find the placement of the seams. And final touch is a few darkest shadows on a bodysuit. And now I have to continue with the skin for the legs. I'm going back on the skin layer because I need not only hands but legs to show transparently underneath the transparent fabrics. So I'm going to have to color them in the same way as I did the arms. As I focused on fully shading the legs only on the upper part, I can start adding the socks here because all I needed was some color in that area, but not necessarily having a full volume. I begin drawing with a pencil sketch of an outline so that it has some sort of visual structure, and then I will just color it with a transparent tool. Now that the drawing is ready, I'm adding one more layer and start coloring using a watercolor brush. I have chosen this pattern for the upper part and it pretty much matches the look and feel of this piece, and I'm using also the same dark navy color to apply it on top. I'm adding one more layer and place it on top to add this last piece inspired by Balletcore, and I want to find its volume using a watercolor brush on top to kind of understand the dimensions of the piece, and then I will try to find its structure using a pencil. So I just want to give a light touch of this color here. And I'm going to now take a pencil of a small size and try to find some structure, because the way this fabric folds, it really has this more of a straight lines. So I want to build this structure here. And the key element of this fabric is going to be how to show the transparency, because every time there's a fold, the material kind of you can see the fold, right? So I'm going to take the flat marker and indicate these folds in this way, following the direction of the draping. And if there's some highlights that are lost, you can do the same technique using a lighter color of the marker. I've added the next layer to do that. Final touch is going to be a shadow under the model. For that, I will add one more layer over here and I will drag it to the end of the sequence using a flat marker and a neutral gray color. I will just do this kind of horizontal swipe. And this is the final illustration. I really hope you loved it. Please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching.